This podcast may contain adult language and themes, or it might not. We're not really sure. We haven't recorded it yet.
I'm Jason.
I'm Diggs.
I make software, music, and podcasts.
I connect people personally and professionally, and I like talking with Jason.
This is the Candy Factory 5x5 podcast.
5 conversations.
5 random topics.
5 minutes each.
When we hear this sound,
we move on to the next topic. Next.
On every episode, we invite a very special guest to join us. And the special guest on today's episode of 5x5 is Anna Tran. Welcome, Anna.
Hey guys, what's up?
I should say welcome back. You're a returning guest.
Second time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For those of you who don't know or are new to the program, Anna is one of our audio engineers, and she takes care of all of the audio for our podcast version of all the shows on the Candy Factory Collective. It's been an awesome time working with you, Anna, over the last, I guess it's like, wow, it's coming up on like a year.
Yeah. I think I looked back at the archive and realized, I think it's basically a year this month. I think I first contacted you in February 2020, wow. Right before all this, pandemic stuff went down. So it's been a whole year.
And I know there's been pandemic. What are you talking about?
Pandemic? And there's been a lot of changes. So why don't you catch everybody up on what you're up to these days?
Yeah. So I moved to Louisville, Kentucky in October of 2020. So I was editing podcasts for the Candy Factory Collective in 2020, but I was in Lancaster at that point. But once October came, I moved to Louisville, and I currently work for a nonprofit called Love Thy Neighborhood. I'm their media assistant. I do basically everything related to the media. Edit all the podcasts, post-production, and also research, communications, and overall just media support.
That's awesome. And one of the silver linings of the 2020 and the pandemic is we're virtual, and so we can bring you back in even though you're many states away. So welcome back to the program.
Yeah, totally.
Yay.
Diggs, my friend, always a pleasure to see you.
You too.
If you're new to the program, the way it works is my iPad, his name is Frank. He's sitting right over there. He's going to dish up 5 random topics. We're going to talk about each topic for 5 minutes. He'll play us a little jingle, and we'll move on to the next. It's the fastest 25 minutes. If you're doing the math, it's the fastest 25 minutes in podcasting. And it's produced right here at the Candy Factory. It's a co-working campus located in Lancaster, PA. We have membership levels from $10 virtual, get you into the network, all the way up to private offices. You can visit Co-working in Lancaster to find out all about it. It's the Candy Factory Co-working Work and Social Club. So with that, you guys feel good? You ready for episode 43?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Of the Candy Factory 5x5 podcast. Here we go. Frank, tell us what topic number 1 is. Scrabble.
Oh,
Scrabble.
I really enjoy Scrabble. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, is that right? You're a Scrabble head?
Yeah, I don't know what they call him. Scrabbler.
Is that what? I don't know. I just made it.
Yeah.
You're a Scrabbler?
I haven't played it recently. But there's something about it. I think it's just like I would consider myself a brainy person. I really like to read, and so that just like concept of forming words and trying to problem solve. Like, what can I do with these letters that I have? Yeah.
Right. Is it one of those? Is Scrabble one of those games that you're good? You're a word person, and therefore you're good at it, or does playing Scrabble kind of turn you into a word person? You know what I mean? Like, does it really help? But in other words, if I'm giving advice to my young friends who are getting ready to take the SAT, should I say, "Hey, go play some Scrabble"?
I don't know if the words on the SATs, like the vocab words on the SATs, would be. Oh, I don't know.
I guess it's good for a spelling bee, maybe. Like
yeah. Diggs, where are you at with Scrabble? Pro or con?
Neutral. I mean, I don't really have a strong affinity or dislike of it. I think it's one of those games that I kind of forget about every now. Like I know what exists, I know what's around, but I don't. It's not usually like front of mind for me.
Sure.
But you all were getting me thinking. There was a rash of like the games that are typically in person or played in person that went virtual because of the pandemic.
Oh, right.
Is there a virtual Scrabble?
Yeah.
There
Words
is?
with
Okay.
friends. Words with friends would be.
No. Well, okay, I guess that's fair. But yeah,
But
all
they're
right,
two
fine.
separate games, though, right? They're
I don't
not.
know.
They're not from like the same makers. They don't necessarily have the same rules, but they're essentially the same.
Same idea, right?
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Words with Friends. Frankly, I don't know a lot about Scrabble, but my mom, who's 70 something or other, she's a
Don't
big
out your
Words with
mother.
Friends. She's 58. She's a big Words with Friends player. When she got her first iPad or iPhone or whatever a few years ago, she started playing because she was a Scrabble person. And it was like this whole like shift to the virtual world of word games. But it looked like Scrabble to me when I first looked at it.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things where you're playing against, like I opened up her app one time and there were like, I don't know, 30 games going at the same time.
Yep.
Wow.
I had that at one point, and then I realized I needed to sort of get my life back. So
you
But
played Words with Friends intensely, would you say?
it wasn't. No, it was more that like friends would start matches with me, and then I wouldn't say no, and it just kind of kept spiraling out of control.
Okay.
But this brings up the question of if you like Scrabble, are you also a crossword person?
Oh,
Or is
I
it
really
just
like crosswords.
aha?
you hate them?
No, I like them.
Oh, I thought you
like
said I really hate cross. I was like, wow,
We're turning this into opposite day. We're just
That's a good point.
I
Are you
could see this being completely related, though. I mean, I can certainly see, you know what I mean, like cousins. I don't game cousins. I'm making this.
What does that make bananagrams then?
Oh my god, what's a
Ooh.
bananagram?
Oh, go
Educate
ahead,
me.
Diggs.
No, Anna, take it away.
Okay. Well, so, Scrabble is a word game, so is Bananagrams. But Bananagrams is boardless. You don't plan a board. There's no like crisscrossing you need to follow. Free form, maybe. So there are different rules, but it's essentially the same thing. You have to make words, but then I don't know if this is how you win, but you basically end up with the most. Well, you're like the last person standing or something. You take the last tile. I honestly
something
forget.
like
I haven't
that.
played it in a while.
No, I think
But
you're right.
it's similar.
Yeah.
And
But it's
there's
a sit-down game across the table kind of a thing?
Yeah, and there's like a speed component to it. When something happens, you say words like peel or what's another word? Diggs.
Oh, I don't remember the other. I've only played it like 2 or 3 times, so the rules did not get ingrained in my psyche just yet. But now I really want to. I'm going to find it and play it as much as I can post pandemic life.
Yeah, but there are like some other like fun rules to it. So check it out. Give it a go.
I check it. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about it now. This is like I think we need a bananagram club here at the Candy Factory.
Yeah. Oh, split.
Well,
Split's another word. Peel, split.
Peel split. Yeah.
So So you're telling me banana-related words are
Definitely.
used in the as the game unfolds between players.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. See, you learn a lot on 5x5. I didn't know that both of you were competitive wordsmiths.
Oh, not competitive.
No.
Didn't you say that you aggressively played words with friends? Like
No. I was listen. My friends were aggressive with me. I just chose to match their intensity. Oh, sure.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we've laid down our final tiles for topic number 1, and we are moving on to topic number 2, which is Matchbox Cars.
Ooh, hitting all the classics.
It's like a toy store on 5x5 today. Matchbox Cars. Did you have Matchbox Cars, Diggs?
Oh my God, yeah.
I didn't mean to offend you.
No. I mean, I couldn't like quote the ones I had, but I definitely remember. What was it? Was it like there was a 50 pack or a 25 pack, or there was some like row situation where you could get like a whole bunch of these like great Matchbox Cars in one swoop, and like that was like a good like Christmas present when you were like a child.
Right.
I definitely remember that around the same time I was still interested in Hess trucks.
Yes, the Hess trucks, of
Hess
course.
trucks.
Yeah, I seem to remember the Matchbox Cars coming in almost like a briefcase kind of thing with the like But this now, granted, these are different decades. But and it looks like they were started in 1953. Matchbox Cars have been around since 1953. So my foray into Matchbox Cars would have been around the mid 1970s, mid to late 1970s, and I seem to remember getting like, you'd buy like it was almost like a lunchbox or a briefcase kind of thing. You'd open it up, and there were slots in it. I can't remember if you bought them that way or if you just like got a case. You know what I mean? Like, like you would, like another gift would be like the
case itself.
Yeah, that would be more like the Easter present. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't the big gift like the Christmas. You get all the cars, and then it's like this kid needs somewhere to put these bloody cars. I'm stepping on the cars. So then Easter would roll. I'd be like, get the kid a Matchbox car case.
Well, I need
get a case.
I need to know some specifics because I don't know if I'm picturing the right thing. Like I think of like Hot Wheels, but is that the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I don't know what what the relationship is there.
But
I thought Hot Wheels was a line of Matchbox. Like it was.
See, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like it was like Matchbox for our generation, for Anna and I. Like it was like the reintroduction.
No. Hot Wheels was hot in the 70s.
Oh,
I had Oh yeah. There wasn't a reintroduction. Maybe we could get some information on the relationship between Hot Wheels and Matchbox Cars. I'm reaching out to our research department right now. I'm dropping a hint to our research department. But no, yeah. So, the little car, right? The Hot Wheels. I had them mixed together. Like I remember going to the store and finding. I remember going to the store and they were individually packaged, right? Like when you just get one. Because you'd be like, Mom, I'm in the Matchbox, Mom. And it would, it'd be like a sort of like an action figure, right? This motion. And you'd buy a Matchbox car. But I seem to remember the Hot Wheels coming in like maybe a bigger box that had other stuff wrapped around it. I don't know. They were like the special Matchbox cars. So in other words, let me put it this way. If I went to the store with my mother, I could probably talk her into getting me a Matchbox car. Hot Wheels was a special thing. At least that's the way it was back then.
Now, was that the thing to collect during your time? Like, I guess I don't know how to.
In the old days. back in the ancient era. We would collect them. Yeah, we would collect them. I don't recall there being names. I'm sure there were. But we definitely collect them. And according to thank you to our research department who's bringing some information to us right now, Hot Wheels and Matchbox Cars are both die-cast car brands. So they're different brands, roughly the same size. But Hot Wheels has more fantasy elements. Ooh, see, they're special. Ooh.
The fire.
I do remember the fire.
But the Hot Wheels one I remember was silver, and it had the engine hood was missing. So you could actually see, some of the hot rods. I don't know if some of the hot rods, like people would take the hood off and so the engine stuck out. Like even I'm talking like even cars that drive around.
Right. Yeah,
the guys who just cruise on Friday night.
Yeah.
And I had a Hot Wheels that was all silver and it looked like that. With little stickers on
it. I vaguely remember. Was there I must have been Matchbox car. I feel like this wouldn't be cool enough for Hot Wheels. I feel like there was a Cruella de Vil version of like her car once the hood got stripped when she like drives through the forest. Like I feel like I vaguely remember. Jason's not following me, but thank you.
Who that is? I was just like oh, you're referring to a person.
Cruella de Vil, 101 Dalmatians.
Oh yeah,
which is becoming a live action movie actually.
Wait, it already is a live action movie.
Already?
Is there another? Yeah, there was a live action like when we were kids.
Oh no!
Just nobody on this call sounds like they know what they're talking about.
But no, I mean this is the era of remaking everything, so I'm not surprised that there's another version coming out. But I think basically there's just to finish the story. There was a point where she's driving through the forest to chase after the dogs because they got I forget where they're in a truck. So she's driving through the forest to get through them, and she like in her rage manages to smash her car through trees and it rips the hood off. So that's just, if you're a kid, you remember that.
Well, speaking of driving off into the sunset, we are driving away from topic number 2 and toward topic number 3, which is Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix.
This is
Jimi
great.
Hendrix.
Who's a
Teach
Hendrix
us,
fan
Obi-Wan.
here? Who likes? No, that doesn't mean that I know much about Jimi Hendrix. What is your relationship with Jimi Hendrix and a Tran?
Well, I know of him. I can't name any songs. I'm sorry, but I know he's a left-handed guitar player. And
impressive.
much respect. I'm not a left-handed guitar player, even though I'm left-handed.
Fair enough.
But I would love to know what your favorite, songs / albums are. I know he's iconic. That's for sure.
Absolutely iconic. Change
he-
music.
Is he a member of the, what's the club? 27, 28?
He's a member of the 27 Club. Yeah.
27 Club, yeah. But my introduction to him, I think, was what was he did America the Beautiful as a lead into which of his songs? Was it Foxy Lady at Woodstock? Like there's this
Well,
live
he did the
recording-
Star Spangled Banner.
I'm sorry,
I
that's
remember
it. That's
that.
it.
Yeah, the Star Spangled Banner.
But that led into one of his songs, whatever the song was.
Yeah, I believe it opened his set at Woodstock, and I don't remember what he played second.
Well,
And I don't
whatever
even know
that.
if that's accurate. I may just be making that up.
No. I know it was
Definitely
Woodstock.
did it at Woodstock,
check,
but
please.
I don't know the order of which those were played.
Well, whatever song it was like that the Star Spangled Banner to whatever the song was. I remember being like the thing that like if Jimi Hendrix came up, I think it was my grandfather who was just like, "Oh my God, yeah, that was the thing that we talked about when like that was Jimmy
Right.
did the thing, man. It was crazy." Oh, but also all along the Watchtower, there are 3 I love the 3. Well, I consider them the 3 main versions. I don't know if that's actually what others would say, but like from Bob Dylan's original to Hendrix's complete just redoing of it in a masterful way to, this might be controversial, but I also love the U2 version that they did live on Rattle and Hum.
Yeah,
it's just-
yeah.
Like those it's like this wonderful like triumvirate of versions of that song, and like with Jimmy in the middle, it's just like it's beautiful. But
Yeah. I think Jimmy's version would be the best version of that song, even though Dylan wrote the song or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, but I agree. Like, I agree that like the Woodstock thing, I think forever will be forever the common reference generation after generation, and then they can go from there.
Mhm.
But for those listening who didn't know what I meant when I said 27 Club, the rock stars who died at age 27, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, and Janis Joplin, all like within the same year.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
yeah, then
Cobain
there's
was
some-
at 27 too, right? Wasn't he?
Yep.
I think so.
Amy Winehouse. There are some more recent entrants, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not a great club to be in. Like if you're, you know what I mean, you're much better off joining the Lancaster Work Club here at the Candy Factory Killer.
Oh, that was that! Wow.
But,
well
but yeah,
Well done.
back
Well
the OG of the 27 Club were those 3, and you know the impact that they made on music for being so young and only really being around, you know, and really well known for 3, 4, 5 years. It's really remarkable, and that represents really a shift in popular music and how different it was when rock stars were when it was just a more organic process and it wasn't as corporatized as music is now. That's a whole other topic that I could spend way too much time waxing on. But in the meantime, I was never a big, Jimmy fan in terms of like where other bands like Pink Floyd or whatever, I would buy books and have all the records and stuff. But Jimmy always had respect. And I think Jimi Hendrix is also another one of those. It's a college band, meaning that even if you've never heard of Jimi Hendrix, you end up in a dorm, right? Maybe someone pulls out a bong, Hendrix comes on, generation after generation.
I'm sorry. What is a bong? What is this?
For those who don't, we're not going to talk about bongs on this program right now. We're not going to go down that path. But yeah, no, Hendrix. I heard one time I heard a great story from a guy who, and his name is escaping me, but he ended up having a lot to do with the music business, where he kind of discovered or helped Alice Cooper launch his career, and he ended up doing a lot of other things. And he was telling the story about living at this hotel in Los Angeles in like 1966 or something like that. And like Hendrix and Joplin and all these people were hanging out. They like all lived there. And how it made me think about how different it is, right?
Yeah.
And how different that was at that time, where there's no social media, there's no instant publishing or instant access to these people. They were just shrouded in mystery, and they would become these legends through, you know what I mean, through media that wasn't interactive.
Well, and as well, it's like they would be discovered more naturally just by word of mouth, and it'd be like this cool thing you heard about, kind of like through the grapevine, instead of the YouTube algorithm recommended it to me. It would be like, oh, I heard it from my buddy or something like that.
Right,
These days, I'm like, oh, I found this cool artist because the YouTube algorithm recommended it to me.
Well, we're listening to the final notes of Jimmy's guitar riff fade away into the distance, along with topic number 3. And topic number 4 is something that I'm not sure that I really know much about. It's iron lung. Iron lung.
Like the medical device?
The medical device iron lung. Yeah. Do you know does anybody here know about that?
I think
my only understanding is that it helps you breathe. It's like something like a patient is hooked up on if they're like unconscious and can't breathe on their own.
Right. It's actually what you're describing is accurate. I only recently saw some things about the iron lung. And I don't have a lot of the details, but we're going to find out from our research department. It's also known as a tank ventilator. It's a type of negative pressure ventilation system of some kind. But I saw pictures of it, and you're in it like almost like a CAT scan. Like you're actually completely immersed in a tube.
But your head is out, right?
But your head is out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so not like a CAT scan, like where your head goes all the way in, but like a tube like that, and it's everything but your head is sticking out, and it helps you breathe.
Yeah, I think I saw this article recently that was talking about there's only a few people left in the world who are still like on an iron lung.
There are still people who are on an iron lung today.
Like 1 or 2. I don't know. Maybe I can find this article. But I did see a picture, and it looks like they're encased in this like machine.
But it came up as we were talking about, meaning a side conversation, not we as in the three of us, as we were talking about like the pandemic and these different diseases over the years and how they were treated, and the iron lung came up, and then I remember seeing these photos, and it was just horrifying looking. Right, it was just like this room full of people, kind of lined up in these tubes.
It looks like it's like the Borg things, but like laying down from like Star Trek. It's like I think I've seen that picture that you're talking about.
Yes, there has to be some iconic pictures.
Right. What was it? Was that it's something about paralyzed diaphragms? I know the words are coming back. Polio patients with a paralyzed diaphragm. Okay. Oh, linking it with polio makes that's. I was like, I knew I was looking into this for some reason. I think it was like FDR to polio to iron lung is how I found it. If you didn't know that FDR had polio, spoiler alert. But
for your history class, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you weren't paying attention. He didn't read the book. But I don't think he ever did anything with this because I don't think he ever had it in his respiratory system. If I'm right, I think it was he had every other ailment that had to do with polio, but thank goodness we have that vaccine. Speaking of vaccines,
as we do here on 5x5, we are we are discovering ourselves. We are basically rewriting the way that medicine has worked in the middle of the 19th century. We're just making up all kinds of stuff about it.
Yeah,
with the exception of what is coming through to us from our research department. Thank you, Ann Kirby.
I looked up the article that I think I read, but it was like, so this is the headline. This is like, how does an iron lung work? Polio survivor 82 among last to use breathing equipment. So yeah, definitely linked with polio. But the picture on it, is like, it looks like a coffin. It's essentially
it's just this all-encompassing tube, and you're just stuck in this thing. It's a horror. It's great that it existed and that it worked to help these people do it. I'm not, making light of that, but when you see it, especially when you see like the picture of these people just sort of lined up, it's jarring. It kind of takes you back.
Can you imagine how that was like? Someone just thought, what if we put someone in a tube and then we like negatively pressurize it? Won't that help them breathe better? Like, who thought of that? How did they get like, some of these like medical things that happened back in the day, it's just like, how did you get there? But
no, that's actually a great point. It's like, it reminds you of, any real invention that is so extraordinary, right? Or different from what like the norm. And you think, how, where did that line of thinking start? You know what I mean? And
right. What could we be inventing right now with a random line of thinking? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's true. I don't know. Obviously, solved some problems and helped people get through that. Apparently, and I'm assuming that polio then attacks different parts of the body. Is that how it works? So only certain people would have the iron lung version.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
I mean, with medical advances, there were really good ideas and also pretty bad ideas. Like,
well, that's true.
For example, like the leeches.
Right.
All of that.
People did drain other people's blood to get rid of diseases. I mean, there is that.
That too.
But it does make you wonder how these things sort of make their way in and then make their way out of.
Yeah. Sure.
But that's it. This one's winding down, folks. We don't have anywhere else to go with it, so we're just going to kind of let this one trail out.
Yeah.
I was going to say we should bring cocaine back, but okay. That's the treatment.
It's a treatment. It's a great idea.
That's one thing.
Well, we're moving on to topic number 5. I'm not even going to segue out of that one. Topic number 5 and the final topic for this episode's 5x5 is, where do you get your music?
Ha! Well, we know Anna's answer. Is it YouTube, Anna?
YouTube, with some good old Chrome extensions, some ad block, and I use this extension that stops the video, so it cuts the bandwidth down on your streaming time, I guess. So I just put that extension on and the ad block on as well, and stream whatever music I feel like listening to.
Wait, I'm confused. Why?
We both look perplexed. Please dig into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Why do you need to do that?
Well, YouTube has. Well, I don't use YouTube Music. I just use the regular YouTube. Honestly, I don't really want to pay for YouTube Music. I don't buy from, or I don't stream from Spotify or Apple Music because, anyways, if they come after me, I'm cool with that. I'm a bit cheap on this end. So to stop the ads, YouTube has a lot of ads, right? To stop the ads, like an ad blocker. YouTube has it's a video stream, so in order to kind of cut the bandwidth down on that while I'm using my computer, I put that extension on.
So it blocks the video, and so you're just listening to the audio.
Yeah. So I don't know if this answers the question, where do I get my music from? But it's how I listen to my music.
No, it absolutely answers the question, 100%.
Yeah.
And this is fascinating because YouTube, when you upload music through a digital distribution channel, right? So if you're a musician and you go to, there are these websites for those who might not know this, and you create an account, and it's a digital distributor of music. So you would upload your album that you made, and it will push that album out to Spotify, Apple Music, right, all around the internet, wherever you decide what stores you want to put it in, Amazon or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the distribution company takes care of paying you when people download or buy it or stream it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, they actually, the one that I use will create, when it pushes to YouTube Music, it actually creates videos on regular YouTube as well.
Oh.
Because
it'll make it itself. It'll put the video on.
The algorithm
with the logo,
with just the album art.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Okay.
And I think that YouTube Music is really just pulling from that same library. So unless I'm gonna little 101 on YouTube. So when you if I were to make a record and push it out to YouTube Music, it creates the YouTube videos as well. And until I'm an official YouTube artist, there's no way to claim that album, right? So it would be, say Diggs makes a record, right? And what would happen is that Diggs's record would be listed under a profile called Diggs Topic. It's like Diggs, it's just Diggs, and it's just generic, and it would just say Diggs, and it would have like the word topic, and then his album would be there with just the artwork. So there'd be like, if he made 10 songs, there'd be 10 videos on that channel. And if Diggs ended up becoming an official YouTube artist, he could claim those, and they would merge with his artist profile.
But
So-
if he didn't claim it, it would just exist.
It just exists. So the reason I'm saying that is because it's interesting that you're talking about bypassing YouTube Music, because I think that YouTube Music is literally just using the same, the library, if you
Database.
will, through the regular YouTube. So you're getting the same thing.
Interesting.
But of course you're blocking the ads. And does that really work? So that cuts out the ads that play in front of a YouTube video?
Yeah, for
Like an ad blocker?
Like for a few seconds. The video doesn't start right away. There's like a couple second delay.
Gotcha.
But the ad doesn't show up,
Right.
So that's a workaround for the public.
Because I know that whatever ad blocker I have will like short circuit the time. Like it just like I tend to use YouTube for my white noise when I need to focus.
Yeah.
So it'll just short circuit the time that the ad would have been there, and then it goes directly to skip ad, which is lovely.
Gotcha.
But to answer the question, I'm a big Spotify guy.
Okay.
I used to like maintain my own library in Windows, whatever the Windows thing was called way back when. But I then switched to Mac and uploaded all of that library to Google, what was Google Music, which I only recently found out no longer exists, which is a pain in the tuchus, which goes back to YouTube Music, Google. Anyway, so still on Spotify, literally what I do is I'll pick an artist I like and then try to go back and find music I've never listened to of theirs, and then start a radio station, find something there I like, start a new radio station. And that's how I kind of build my playlists of like just songs that I want to go back to on a regular basis.
That's really interesting. Yeah, that's the whole process.
Yeah. I haven't done it
yeah.
in a while. I need to do some updating. But
I kind of felt like a whiteboard would help me understand that, kind of the way that worked.
It makes sense because it's essentially it's YouTube hopping, but
yeah,
you're just doing it with songs.
Yeah. I do listen to Spotify for new music, but I still download MP3s. I shouldn't say I still download MP3s because
I actually started using Bandcamp recently.
Yeah. Just to round this out, since it's our last topic, I will say this. I will say that I used to, download MP3s. I went through the whole thing, right, from albums, cassettes, CDs, and then I started repurchasing MP3s. I don't know, about 5 or 6 years ago, because I didn't want what you happened to you, Diggs, where you start depending on Google Music, and then all of a sudden the whole thing explodes. And so I have a very well curated library of MP3s, and I'll use Spotify or YouTube, and I pay for like the premium whatever YouTube thing, and I'll use it to discover new music. But if I really like it, then I go buy it, put it in my library, and do my own playlists in my own library. There you go.
Nice.
I'm the old guy. You kids,
with MP3s.
I'm the MP3 guy. That's what they call me in the neighborhood. They're like the MP3 guy down the block. It's that guy. Doesn't shovel the sidewalk.
He's got the goods.
Yeah, he's a real jerk. Anyway, it's time to press stop on the music player for topic number 5 and this episode of 5x5, the fastest 25 minutes in podcast.
Sing.
There you go. Anna Tran, welcome back to the show. It's great to see you again. Thank you for all the great work you've done for the Candy Factory Collective over the last year and hopefully into the future.
It's my pleasure.
Enjoy Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And Diggs, always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
You too.
And for all you out there who are watching or listening, thank you for tuning in to 5x5, and we will catch you next time on 5 by 5. The Candy Factory 5x5 podcast
Is a proud member of the Candy Factory Collective. 5x5 Video can be found on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
Subscribe to the audio version wherever you get your podcasts.
The Candy Factory 5x5 podcast is recorded at the studios of the Candy Factory,
a co-working campus in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
The show is produced and hosted by Jason Mundock,
along with co-host Robert Diggs.
Editing and additional production by Anna Tran.
The opinions and views expressed on this podcast
are solely those of the expressor.
The Candy Factory is not in any way responsible if anyone said something stupid.
Our theme music was composed
and recorded by a really cool guy.
Really cool guy.
A really cool guy.
Really cool guy named John Chen.
Relevant links and show notes
can be found on the show post
at our website, candyfactorycollective.com.
Maybe that's it.
Is that it? Okay.
Candy Factory.
Collective.